Hello, my name is David Morales, and I'll be your instructor for the summer for the Math 151 Emporium. I want to explain how this class works. So, first of all, this that you see here is the front page, and when you log in, you'll see all your upcoming assignments. Now, I've tried to make this class as simple as possible. So the way this is going to work is you have to get onto MyMathLab, and I have instructions on how to do so. There's a 14-day financial aid free period. After that, you'll have to buy access to the course. I recommend you buy it from the bookstore at Desert Vista because there's a workbook that goes along with the book. So, in a nutshell, this is how the class works. There are basically 9 modules that you have to complete. Okay, and this class is kind of similar to Math 89, but it's not exactly the same. And the similarities are that there's modules, and after every 3, you're going to take a cumulative test. The study plan is going to replace the homework that you're used to for Math 89. So before you take any test, you have to complete the study plan for the module. So that's how you do the class. 9 modules, 3 cumulatives, and then you're done. Now this is how I recommend you proceed through the class. I strongly recommend this. Some students choose not to, and then they always run into trouble at the end. First of all, it's very important to be responsible with your time, because while there's no set time limit for each test, I have it set basically for every week until the semester ends. This is what you should do to stay on top of the class. So what I recommend is you go here to read e-text. This is where it's a little bit different from Math 89. There's some videos, but it's not completely video driven. Now I'm going to try to make videos this summer to supplement the class. But in the meantime, you want to proceed down this path. So you go here, and you can see over here is the book, and we're going to start with chapter 1. Now you can just proceed here. Now right here is you can click next page and so on. As you read the book, it will kind of follow this along. So here's some things that you can do before you begin. This is a you try it. Let's just see, do you know how to do this from Math 89 or Math 122? And you click on it. It says completely factor or state that it's prime. Now, if you've never taken Math 89 or MyMathLab before, what's nice about this is that you get to try multiple times. So let's say I just put, W minus 8 or something. I click check answer, and it says it's not correct. It gives me a hint. Now notice over here I have a help me solve this. This will help me work through this, and there's 8 parts that will help me to solve it. So here, is it in standard form? Yes. And then it'll just give you hints. What's the greatest common factor, and so on and so forth. And actually, help me solve this. What that will do is that will solve this particular problem for you. The problem is once you're done, it's going to give you another problem to complete. So we could have clicked view an example. That's what I meant to click originally. So here's an example that we can work through and see, okay, this is how you do it, and so on. Then you can try this original problem that you started with. Now, how do we factor 168? We'll worry about that later. So let's see. That is, how do we get out of here? Okay, so I can just close this. So that's some you try it. Now, if you're stuck, if you don't remember how to do this, this is where there's a review section, and you can just click on it, and here's a video, and
in this video,
this is how
we're
the
going to
videos
factor
look like
trinomials of the
class.
form ax squared plus bx plus c, where A
and
C is positive,
and so on.
negative.
And some of the videos also have, or some of these lessons also have animations. Some of them are
The AC
interactive.
method can be used to factor trinomial. If no such step needed,
And so on.
factoring it out, we have.
Now, if you want to proceed through the class, now this is the book itself. And it's not like a book that's just been scanned online. It's kind of made for the online format. So what I recommend is, you kind of just read through the book. And, there's hyperlinks for the definitions. There's videos, examples, you try it. So this is kind of like, the homework that you can do. And here it says, notice it says, you can do some of the problems in the study plan or in the workbook. And you can try, a problem on your own. You go through the book, and, it'll give you problems and so on. Then you get to the end, try your own or do the study plan. And, it just continues on like that. Here's a video that will help you out. Like I said, I'm going to try to supplement more videos on this. This is a new class, so I'm still setting it up. So on. You kind of go through this, and here's some problems for you to work on, or you can just go to, now we go back to the original, so I'm going to go back to, not the e-text, but now I'm ready to do some of the study plan after I read the book. So I want to go to, I want to take the Module 1 test, but it's not going to let me because I have to finish the study plan first. So I do the study plan. Now the way this works is there's 16 things. So basically think of it as 16 homework problems for you to do for the chapter, which is not a lot. So, this is very reasonable. And you have to complete all of these. The MP stands for mastery points. And so it's basically 16 homework problems you have to do correctly. Now, what you can do is you can practice a few problems. Now, notice that it's going to give you sometimes it gives you like 20 problems or something. You don't have to do all of them. You don't even have to do any of them. You just do one of them. You can skip around, say, okay, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. Like I said, right here, there's the textbook. There's an example. Help me solve this. So all the resources you need are right here. You can also ask me. It sends me an email, and I help you do it. So then when you're done, you're going to click Quiz Me, and you have to get the one question correct. And so the least common denominator is, I'm going to get this wrong on purpose, x minus 3. You submit the quiz, and it's going to be wrong. So, and then I can review it if I want to and see, what did I get wrong? Oh man, I forgot to put that. So what I do now is I have to practice. Now I think you only have to do one problem at least, but you should do as many until you feel comfortable. So the least common denominator here is going to be 30. If you don't know how to do it, your review and so on. And I think now I'm ready to quiz me again. And it'll ask me another random problem. So here I know that the answer is going to be x squared minus 1. And it's correct. And notice I now have 1 point done. And let's reload it so I can show. Actually, what happens is it disappeared. So you can see that I'm making progress here, and then down here on objectives mastered, there's what I just finished right now. And you can go, you don't have to go step by step, but you should because it's usually pretty cumulative. So that's how you go through this. Then when you're done with that, you're going to take the test. The test requires a password, which means it has to be taken in the room, and you put up a red cup, or there's a red cup in the classroom, which means you're taking a test, and then there's a blue cup, and blue cup means you have a question, and then a tutor will come around to help you. There's usually around 3 to 4 tutors around at all times, including myself. So it's a pretty nice class that you just get help anytime you need it, and proceed at your own pace. So that's it. You just work your way through the tests. Then you'll take a cumulative. 3 more tests, cumulative. 3 more tests, cumulative. Now the thing is, the difference between 89 was a class that was meant to equal 4 different classes, the 82, 86, 92, and 122. Whereas this class is 151, and 151 is a 1 semester class. So it's just an Emporium version of that 1 semester class. So you have 1 semester, 9 modules to do. But like I said, you get to take the test over and over and over again until you pass them. And actually, that's required. Before you take the cumulative, you have to get a 70% on Module 1, Module 2, and Module 3, at least a 70%. Now, what happens is when you take the test is going to alter your study plan. So that's kind of like your personalized homework from Math 89. So once you're done taking this, it's going to affect your study plan. And the ones that you missed are going to show up here again. And you're going to have to redo those and retake the test. Like I said, you can retake the test even if you got like a 70 and want a 90 or 100 instead. Now, the first thing you're going to do before anything is you have to do the orientation. Orientation is just a few questions just to show you how to use this software. If you've done Math 89, this should take like 5 minutes, at the most. Some of you might take a little bit more if you've never done this before. Just showing you how to use drop-down menus, how to type in, exponents, and how to graph. One of these questions will be about graphing. Yeah. So, this is just kind of orienting you to the software. So there's that. Or you start with the orientation, and then, like I said, I'm going to try to make some videos to supplement each chapter. And basically read the book, do the study plan, take the test. Read the book, study plan, test, read the book, study plan, test, then take the cumulative, and then just repeat that. And that'll be it. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Send me an email or just ask me in class. Thanks.